Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the weird audio experience, which is my voice in your ears. I'm sorry about my voice, but thank you for making it to episode number 19 of 20. This is the second last episode of the second series of the Anita podcast, proudly brought to you by Awake Tours, the coolest and greatest music festival and travel music festival company in the whole entire world. I will see you whenever the fuck I see you. All right, so today's episode is advice that we would give to our younger self and just life lessons that we wished we'd known. So it is another audio-only experience which is, I can talk now, which is a combination podcast of the final question that I ask everyone and have for the last 18 episodes. And that is advice that you'd give to your younger self or shit that you just wish that you'd known when you were younger. Granted, I know we're not old as hell, but there are still things that everyone wishes that they had have known. And it's actually hell funny because they're normally all the exact fucking same. So it's cool to see. And I've studied a lot, like people's dying wishes or things on their deathbed and blah, blah, blah. And they're always all the same. So it's so cool to see. So I look forward to presenting this to you in a way to show you that what's going on in your mind isn't necessarily crazy and you're not alone and we're all the same. So now we're going to insert here the interviews from all the lords from the last 18 podcasts about advice they would give to their younger self and things that they wish that they had known when they were younger. And this is from everyone, right? You have like an artist, a musician, a ninja warrior, someone who runs ayahuasca retreats, fucking someone who day trades, like someone who is a serial entrepreneur, like someone who travels for a living. Like there are so many different people from so many different industries doing so many different things in their lives. So this is why I bring all this together for everyone to understand it doesn't matter where you're from, what you're doing, who the fuck you are, who the fuck they are. You all have the exact same pains, needs, wants, desires, thoughts, everything, no matter what fucking country you're from. It's all the same. So you're not alone and it's okay. Okay? So let's listen. But advice that you would give to your younger self or young Jack may want to hear from older Jack.
The first thing would be is be yourself.
Yeah.
Be yourself, young Jack. Whatever you want to do in your life, you do that. Just be yourself. Do not change for the people that you surround yourself with, or do not change for the people you see on TV or, you know, your music videos and stuff like that. Just be yourself, who you want to be. And the next thing would be like, what do you love and what do you want to be? I think that's the main thing advice I'd give myself. And I suppose just a bit of a pep talk on, you know, you can be that person as well, and you don't have to change.
Yeah.
You know, and I feel like on the back of that would be, you know, you can help other people do the same as well. So you can build a family and an army of purity and of whatever you want to do in this life. You can do it with many other different people and do it with happiness and excitement, you know, and wholesomeness too. Like, and just have fun. Have fun. Don't grow up. Never grow up. Like, I haven't done that now. Like, I'm never gonna grow up. But I'd just reinforce that message. I'd say, never grow up. Be a kid your whole life.
Yeah, have fun and enjoy. No.
Yeah.
Definitely, and I think you are living those ideals. So young Jack would be very proud of older Jack.
He would be,
anyway.
eh?
But we did it. Remember we were in the trenches?
Yeah.
Look at us. Yes, we're on TV. No.
Yeah, shit. Oh, man.
So in closing, final question, advice that you would give to your younger self.
Advice that I'd give my younger self. Don't worry. Just keep going. Just keep your head down and just keep going. Because I think there's been so many times in my life where I get really fretted and like really freaked out. I'm like, you know, I'll have breakdown every couple of months, yeah. And I'll just be like, you're not good enough. You're never gonna get this. Like, no one likes you. Your friends don't like you. It's like my spiral goes down quick and hard. You know, it's like your mom hates you. I'm like, no, she doesn't. You know, And so I guess my I guess what I would say to myself is just don't worry, don't fret. Everything's going to be fine. And even if you don't achieve the things that you don't want to achieve, like everyone's still going to be there. People still love you.
No, absolutely beautiful. And yes, correct. Don't worry. Well, you were doing amazing anyway. But yeah, and even if you don't succeed, people listening, you still learn so much that you would not have learned had you just sat there and done nothing, and you will never, ever regret or think, what if, which is worse. Even if you go out there and you bomb and you suck and people tell you suck, it's a lot better than sitting there and being like, oh, I could have, but I didn't, but I could have. Fuck. And then being old and being like, shit, I should have, because life's a game, and then you die. Why didn't I? So no.
Yeah, no, that's a very good quote that I try to live my life by. You know, like, you know, you die at the end.
Yeah.
Like, just let you know, you die at the end. So have a fucking giggle, because that's the only thing that's ever gonna matter. It's just fleeting moments of enjoyment. So fucking have a little giggle, and whistle while you hit the grave. You know.
Don't care what other people think. Like, just honestly, just keep doing your own thing. Like, just roll through life doing you. Don't worry about anyone else, because people are always going to have different opinions based on whatever the fuck you do anyway. They're always going to care. But that's fine. Let them waste their energy and their time on like their opinions, because you can love your opinions about yourself. And also take the time to really focus on the things that make you feel good, because we roll through life and we like focus on all this other stuff, external stuff, but like focus on the shit that makes you feel good. Once you dabble into focusing on the stuff that makes you feel good, you can start to grow as a person. That's what I've learned from myself. But yeah, don't let fear be the driver. I just like, that's like my favorite thing. Oh, and if you think you can or you think you can't, you're right. 100%, right? Correct. If you think you can do it, you can fucking do it. If you think you can't do it, cool, you can't. Like, but just don't feed that bullshit into your life. Like, positive affirmations, people, self-love.
Yeah, no,
literally,
that is very, very correct. If you think you can or you think you can't, you're right. Like, and you think
You're
other
right.
people can, but you can't. But other people are just you. Like, they're not that much special.
Yeah.
They're born the same. So stop using that as an excuse. And yeah, if you think you can't, then that's your answer. See ya. And if it's something you want, then that's unfortunate.
100%. Also, get the fuck off your phone.
That's great.
Get the fuck off your phone and go for a walk. I'm telling you, people, literally, when I'm going to be a mum, my kid's going to hate me. But I'm serious. I'm like, get off your phone.
Yeah.
Stop, like, mindlessly scrolling. Like, give yourself time. Like, I know that that's the way the world's, like, rolling towards. Like, it's all technology. But, like, get off your phone and do some other shit. Don't get off the phone and go sit in front of the TV and like mung out in front of the TV either. Like, go get out and experience like nature, or just go for a walk, or plan that holiday, or do something that makes you feel good inside. Because when you start doing that makes you feel good inside, when you have been off your phone, hey, that might open opportunities to something else that you may not have thought that you could do, you know?
Give you some brain space.
Brain space, man.
Definitely. And I think the first thing that you said as well, like, just don't worry about people's opinions, is so important, because there are trillions of people in the world, and obviously everyone's not going to agree with what you're doing, because why would they? It would be a very boring world. So people who like you will join you, and those who don't won't resonate with you and won't, and it's weeded it out. Like, if you are caring about people's opinions so much, say something brings you joy and someone's like, that sucks, okay, now you've stopped it. The end. You suffer, and you suffer because of somebody who's that not okay with themselves, that wanted to cause you pain, who's obviously not doing what they like with their time anyway. So like, it's fucking wasted time.
And it says more about them and less about you anyway. If someone's going to come a bitch and moan and talk shit about like whatever you're doing, then that's fine. It says more about them. Don't live up to other people's expectations. Create expectations for yourself, not everyone else. Because even if you live up to the expectation of others, no matter what you do for that other person or anyone else, you're probably never going to meet the expectations of them. You only got you at the end of the day. Like, that's it. Focus on you, people. You.
Exactly. And ironically, that's when everyone will want to be part of your life more. Once you are solid and you have you. But no.
Exactly. That comes up to happiness. And then you'll be like, oh, I'm happy. And everyone's starting to gravitate towards you.
Yep.
I don't care about what anyone thinks, purely because of all the success I've had. and I've tested and even the failures, because every time I failed, I've come out of it better. And one of the other most important things anyone can learn is how to self-reflect.
Yeah.
Because if you can self-reflect from your failures, you'll actually never fail. You just learn and win. Learning and winning.
Yeah.
Learning and winning. That's the title of this podcast.
Yeah. Learning and winning.
Learning and winning. That's it. That's what the L stands for. When you take an L, you're learning. You're not losing.
That's
so
a good one.
That's why I'm not phased.
And my final question to you is, what advice would you give to your younger self?
Oh, I actually said this last week in my own podcast. Do everything that you're doing. Plan a little bit better, even though nothing ever really goes according to plan in life. If you really look down, put it down to it. Get out of debt earlier.
Yeah.
Stay out of debt, really. And taste test as much as you possibly can. Like, do everything and anything that has a relative interest to you.
It's an interesting question. I would, if I had a message to send back to my younger self, I would say, buy Bitcoin as much as you can and sell it at 19,000.
Buy Bitcoin. Wait, I remember I asked you this. I'll diverse. I asked you a question on my old vlogs when I was like 23, and I was like, "You're speaking to 1 million people right now. What do you want to say to all of them?" And you're like, if all of you could just give me $1 each, just $1 PayPal to Daniel at myluckypearls.com. I was like, that's such a good answer. Instant millionaire. But anyway, back to yours.
I'd be a millionaire and I'd live out all your dreams for you. I promise to film it. After that offer is still on the table, by the way. No, I don't know. It's that's a tough one. It's for me, it's a tough one because I'm happy, like I don't have any regrets.
You've also done as well.
Yeah, exactly. I've always done what I wanted to do. I'm just happy where I'm at right now. And if I was to give myself advice when I was younger, I might not be here. Maybe be more patient in life. Life's long. I didn't realize, when I was younger, I was always in a rush to be a millionaire, and that brought about all sorts of unnecessary stress, I think. So, and beating myself up that I, putting an unreasonable expectation on myself and not reaching that, did put some stress on me. So maybe just to be more patient and know that life's long and not to beat yourself up,
Yeah,
it's a long road.
It is. Well, to two of those things. Number one, I think you can, even if it wasn't advice to yourself, I guess it could be to other people's selves, because you've always lent into everything, and you've kind of, even though you say you're introvert, you just do, and you don't put weight on much. Like, you're not like, if I do this and what will happen, blah, blah, blah. You just do, and then it works, and if it doesn't, you just divert your path, and you do again, and you do again, and everything that you have actually put a lot of time into has been ridiculously successful. So, like, you just do. And so I guess, you wouldn't want to change your path, but to other people listening to this, just don't put weight on it. Like, even like, oh my God, how can you just move to another state or another country or what? It's not that bad once you've done it, and there's nothing on the other side of the fear except for the loss of that experience, and you grow and you get richer in every single way from doing that. And maybe some inspiration, because I get a lot of people like, I can't afford it, blah, 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 but essentially it may be a couple grand over a whole year. Like, you can afford it, you just have to make some sacrifices, and it's worth it when you get there. Trust.
Yeah, I've made about 5 years of sacrifice. I've literally don't go out weekends. I work 3 jobs, cover my pay, pretty much save up maybe 20 or 30K a year, and just decide to travel every year. I've done it 5 years in a row. Literally don't go out weekends, don't go partying. All I do is just work 2-3 jobs, and that's all I do. That's my life. And then the moment I travel, just become a happy free bird. Just want to run around, just want to enjoy. Like, the best thing you could do is just honestly sacrifice something. The biggest sacrifice is sacrifice going out, which is hard for a lot of people, but it's worth it in the time.
The moment you start traveling, it's a travel bug. You want to see people, you want to meet new things, experience life.
Yeah.
Best thing you could ever do.
Oh, well, that is the thing, hey, like, because people are like, oh, money, money, money. But, like, say, I don't know, I would sacrifice, like, once you do it, like, nothing can replace the memories, nothing can replace the things that you've done. There's never a time I've gone, I'm like, oh, that was a waste. You meet so many people and you learn so much. You're like, this thing happened, which then planted this idea in my head, which made me think of this, which actually altered my life without me knowing, or made me realize that not everyone in the world is the same. So instead of being, I guess, sometimes closed-minded, if you just grow up in the same town and you're like, this is the way it is. And then you meet some people who are so adamant, like even like religion, like, oh, but we pray 20 hours a day to this God. You're like, so it kind of makes you question just like, oh, maybe everything that my little town says is 100% solid may not be. And it's just a different perspective because I'm from a different place. So even if you don't agree with the person and what they're saying, it still flicks something on in your brain. Yeah.
Definitely. Oh, good times. Yeah, it's definitely sacrifice. Going out is where most of the money goes out. Like in Australia, we're lucky where we make more money than any other country. Like we make double what most people make, and it takes us half the time to save the money. So like, there's no excuse for you not to save money.
Yeah, we're very blessed to be where we are. I have the opportunity to make money.
And for me, that is so much more rewarding than having a Bentley in the garage. You know, Bentleys are nice, but I don't really need one. I'd rather eat some mushrooms and go hike up the side of the mountain. You know what I mean? It's like everybody has different things that they want. So, you know, out of life, like I said, I'm on a mission to have my own deep experiences and share and help people have theirs, you know, and hopefully create a nice little community of people that, you know, there's not bullshit. We don't sit and talk about the weather. Yeah. We sit and talk about our PTSD. We talk about, hey, you know what? Last year I wanted to fucking blow my brains out, or last year I almost died of a drug overdose. I'm like, cool. Let's sit down and talk about that. You know, it's like people. It's like when it's like when I'm in Thailand. Oh, nice weather we're having. Yeah, it's fucking nice every day, dude. Let's talk about something. Oh, the sun's shining. It's like,
this toffee's gonna get old real quick. It's fucking sunny 365 days.
Yeah, exactly. So let's talk about shit that matters. And, you know, to sum it all up, let's try to be kinder to one another and have experiences, not hate. Let's try to understand where people are coming from. I did another podcast, and I always like to drop quotes, but I believe it's an Australian writer, Bo Taplin or Bo. Trying to remember what his name is, but anyway, the quote is, "We're all so desperate to be understood, we forget to be understanding." And that really resonated with me because, you know, you see it on social media, and since all this stuff, everybody's so desperate to like hammer their point on why they have an opinion about something. Yeah. And it's almost like, well, if you don't agree with my opinion, then unfriend me. And I'm like, wow, that's like fucking kindergarten shit. Not only that, but now you're creating a community of only people who agree with you. That's like going to a jiu-jitsu gym where everybody lets you win. You're not going to get better. It's like, you know, you want people to challenge you. You want people to push your limits. You don't want people to, oh, you know what? I just agree with everything you say and you're the man. It's like, nah, not so rewarding. I want to be challenged, and, you know, because then you can strengthen your own opinions and maybe even change them. You know, it's like, this is what life is about. Yeah. To me, it's like having those, and, you know, yeah, it's scary. But lots of things are scary. Jumping out of a plane is scary. But when you hit the ground, that endorphin rush, so there's lots of shit that's scary. But
flip side, I'm one of those people that really believes that each thing that happens is kind of like a stepping stone or like a block for the next one. And I don't know how my life would have been if I started earlier. I think that a lot of the experiences I had because I was older led me to where I am now and the job I'm in now and living the life that I'm living right now, which has always been, obviously, to some people, like this type of lifestyle of constantly traveling and partying is not for everyone. A lot of people think like, well, when are you going to grow up? I fucking love it. I fucking love my life. You know, like I get paid to travel and I get to, you know, it helps like me get to more festivals because I travel for free. And then I worked my ass off to be in the festival industry.
Yeah, I think I did go over this a little bit, but it's for me, it's mostly just like not falling into the trap of hanging with the wrong people, especially. I had this problem where I was I was hanging with a bunch of people that didn't align with what I was doing. They were mostly just people, following like, normal jobs, like normal careers, going to university, getting married, having kids, having a house, like that kind of thing. Like I'm totally cool with people doing that, but it just didn't align with what I was doing because, the amount of time I would spend away from my friends, like just literally all day, every day for weeks, and I wouldn't speak to them for like months, might not see them for months. And a lot of those friends I hanged with, like it was a deal breaker for them. It's like either you're coming out this weekend to party with us or we can't be friends anymore. And I felt to that. And I'd go out every weekend and party with them. And then I'd just be, saying sorry for the next couple of days. But it wasn't until later on, like a few years later when I was like 21, that I found the group of mates that I hang with now. And they're not in any way music producers, but I mean, they also do all the events, like they build all the festivals for like Origin and like pretty much every event in Perth now, like Cyclists, their company, and like my friends who own that, like they were a huge inspiration for me getting into entrepreneurship because I saw how they built a business from scratch, something that they weren't even a part of it, and they built it from scratch, and like it was so inspiring to like see them do that. That's how I got into like doing this whole school thing and all the events I did. And I think looking back, if I had met people like that earlier on, like when I was like 18, I'd be a completely different person. Like, well, I would have reached what I'm doing now much earlier because it completely changed my mindset. Like, I mean, I stopped going out because not only they understood what I was doing, and they were okay with me, spending months away from them. Like, they wouldn't reach out to me and be like, oh, why we haven't spoken for like fucking months.
Yeah. So now I'm just going to say, and that's the advice that I'd probably give to my younger self. So number one is just do. Do everything, experience everything. If you fuck up or hate it, you're just going to end up back where you started, so nothing is lost. And that is so obvious to me, but not to everyone in the podcast. How to not give a fuck what anyone thinks about you. That was one of my most popular ones. And I harped on about this point. Like, no matter what, you can just go back to exactly where you were before. Like, if you're going to be an accountant and you're so scared to take 2 years off, wow, you lose everything. Go back to being an accountant. Nothing will change. Nothing. So just do everything. If you feel a calling, act on it. There is your intuition. There is your whatever. Some people call it God. Some people call it a calling, like whatever. But I always just act on my feel. Always. Sometimes it seems ridiculous. Just a suitcase and a plane ticket. Pre-COVID. I feel like I should do this. Let's go. Right? So just do everything. Experience everything. If you fuck up or hate it, you can just go back to where you were. You don't lose anything. Okay? You only gain experience. Number 2 is stop caring what other people think. This is not your life. I mean, wow, that's bad advice. This is your life. This is your life. This is not their life for you. Because one day they will die and you will be stuck living that life. And I say that because when I was like studying to be a lawyer, that was only because I should have been, because my parents wanted me to be. And then someone sat me down and they were just like, your dad's going to die. Will you be happy being a lawyer? Because you seem pretty sad. And like, no chance I want to be a lawyer, but I just have to. And you're like, well, you don't have to do anything. I was like, I do. You don't understand. He's like, you don't. And then I quit. And then I was so happy. Well, not quit. I finished the degree, but I didn't want to be a lawyer. And then I was so happy, and my parents were not. and that caused a lot of problems, but who cares? Because I was like, am I going to live their life for me? Why? This makes no sense. And it's so obvious now, but when I was younger, I remember that was like one of my biggest problems, just being so internally conflicted and frustrated. So stop caring what other people think. This is your life. This is not their life for you. One day they will die and you're going to be stuck living that life. So what does that look like to you? Number 3 is play more. I never played. I always was so serious. So play more, have fun. Life is a game, and then you die. So experience all levels because you aren't getting out alive. Second last is be a good person in every aspect of your life. That should go without saying, but some people don't. They try and make quick money, quick friends, quick this, fill themselves up, quick sex, fuck people over, lie, meh, whatever. So be a good person in every aspect of your life and act in such a way that if people were there and you were not, that they would defend you and your character because you act so similar. I like to feel if somebody who met me in church and somebody who had met me when I bartended at a strip club, somebody who had met me overseas, somebody who had met me at a bus stop, somebody who had met me on tour, if they all got together and they were talking about me and I wasn't there, and someone was like, Anita did this, and it was a lie and it was completely ludicrous and against my character, that they would all defend me and be like, nah, she didn't, because she's like this. I like to act in a way that no matter where I am or which situation I am or what scenario I'm in or who I should or could be with those people around me, that the base core of my human and my morals are always the same, that everyone would agree on that's the type of person that I am, and they would defend me against somebody who was lying, if that makes sense, because I held myself in such a way. So be a good person in every aspect of your life where you can. My last bit of advice, I'll wrap up the last 4 because I know I rambled. So number 1 was just do everything, experience everything. Number 2, stop caring what other people think. This is your life, not theirs. They will die. You'll be stuck living that life. Number 3 is play more. Life is a game. You're not getting out alive. Next up, be a good person in every aspect of your life. Finally, it's just you are enough now. You have everything in you now. And that sounds like some poster that you'd buy from some cheap shop and put on your mum's bedroom wall. But you are enough now, and you truly are. And I spent my whole life trying to get to this point, and it was just like a round circle to get back to exactly where I was and be like, fuck, I always was. I was always enough. I always had everything inside me. I was already there. I just had to go on the journey to get back to me, right? So you are enough now, and you have every single thing inside you right now to achieve what you want, to do what you want. And why wouldn't you? Obviously, it's not going to be easy. Don't shy away from hard work. Why would you not? There are people doing exactly what you want to do, born in worse situations than you, worse circumstances, been through more shit, and they're doing it. Everyone's born in a fucking skeleton in a bit of flesh. They are no more special than you. So you are enough now, and you have absolutely everything inside you to do what you want to do and get where you want to get. But you are good enough and good now. Alrighty, guys, so that was the end of the inserts from everyone. I hope you guys enjoyed it, from some lords and some wonderful humans that we love very, very, very much. Okay, my peoples, I am done talking. I will speak to you in 2 weeks' time for the final episode of this season of the podcast. I love you, and speak to you next time. Mwah.